Oh yeah, thanks for checking out this video comparing two seriously heavyweight, super lightweight RC planes. If that doesn't sound a bit daft, these have to be amongst the smallest radio controlled planes that you can fly. This one's 400mm wingspan, this is 430. They are small, very small when you compare the size. But are they fun? Well, quick answer, yes, they're brilliant fun. And part of that reason is because of the gyroscopic system that's installed with them. Typically a plane this small flying outdoors, any bit of a breeze is going to throw it around the place. And these are no exception. But if you enable gyroscopic stabilization, they fly like a much, much bigger plane. Now, the next question is, which is best? Is the A430 the best first plane, or second plane perhaps, or is it the Mustang? Which flies more like a true plane, RC plane, and which maybe feels a bit too artificial? Or do they both just fly brilliantly? Well, that's the idea behind today. We're going to check the two out. They're similar in size. The A430 is a little bit dearer. Prices fluctuate a lot, but they both have 4 channels: throttle, aileron, elevator and rudder. One comes with a really small 1-cell battery, the Mustang, and the A430 has 2-cell. But that doesn't mean that the Mustang's slow. It's not, it's fast. And the other thing is, because these are so super small, they will appear to fly faster because they go out of sight very, very quickly. So we're going to pop them in the air and see how we get on. Okay, one of the first things I notice about this plane is how easy it is to set it up, to start it. Because I remember when I started flying first RC planes, foamies and stuff, which is only just a short few years ago. There's a lot of things to consider, weight distribution and stuff. This makes it all very easy. Your battery fits in there and no place else. It doesn't need to be back or forward or anything. It's exactly in the right place. So all you got to do is plug in the battery, and as long as you're pointing the plane into the wind, beginner mode, intermediate, expert, which is no gyro, that plane will fly, and it'll keep flying for 10-15 minutes. So I'm going to start pure beginner, throttle armed, and that's it. That's about 50% throttle, up elevator, I'm working there between 30% to 20% throttle. So easy. Gentle controls. And plenty speed when you need it. In beginner mode, it won't bank too much to the left or the right, and it automatically stabilizes. Oh yes, that's another thing. When I crash, which I will, and which every learner does, and usually it's the nose that takes it, this has got a fab prop setup. That the prop just falls off and you clip it back into place. That's a huge plus. Huge. My second plane was an XK A430, a beautiful looking plane, absolutely smashing. She had gyro system, but if she crashed, she got broken, badly broken. Right, so that's beginner, intermediate, tighter angles, look. Things happen fast though. That's nice. Now I still can't roll the plane. Well, sort of can actually, but a bit clumsily. She will loop. I I can't fly inverted because the plane will want to straighten up. But then if you're a novice pilot, you're not likely to want to fly inverted. Our middle experience, and off we go. Wind is blowing here 10 to 50 miles an hour, which would normally make a plane very jittery. This one handles it fine, thanks to the gyro. It will get buffeted around a bit, but it takes it. It encourages you to, you know, test it out. So this is about the limit of this plane. If you're happy flying like this, you will get hours of fun. Now, it has an expert mode, which is no gyro, but I gotta warn you, it's very, very twitchy in that mode. Very twitchy. You have no stabilization. You have full aerobatic control. By the way, I should mention, this has an acrobatic function of sorts. Line it up, press this button, acrobatic function, and it performs the maneuver itself. But you need to give yourself plenty of height because it can get a bit carried away. It needs space. So anyway, I'm going to flick into expert mode, and I'm going to try to fly gently, remembering if things go bad, I'll just flick it straight into beginner mode again, just like that, because it was out of control. And because the plane is so small, things happen very fast. I don't think a novice pilot would even try this manual control, because it just happens, just gets out of control. So on a calm day, when you're getting quite experienced, you can try it. You could probably say, what do you got to lose if it crashes? But I think what could happen is it might just actually fly out of range, and you might have difficulty finding it. Full. See, it's a load of fun, but crikey. The camera will probably show you there how far away things get. So it's at its best, maybe in middle position, flying around like this. You can get more out of it. You can do your assisted acrobatic maneuvers, but that's not where it's at its best. And from a learning point of view, this middle rate is the best. But it's difficult to try there now again. No, see, I'm not able to roll all the time, only sometimes. Loops, yeah, no problem. But it's not really rolling unless you're an expert rate, and when you do that, it goes very fast. Things happen so fast. That's a landing, and that looks like a terrible landing, but for a plane like this, it takes it remarkably well. So as a very first RC plane, I would rate this as 8 out of 10. It's got full functionality, it's got gyroscopic assistance, but it's limited in how far it can take you with your skills. I think it would be wonderful if they had 3 modes, and that third mode was a highly maneuverable mode, but maybe still had a little bit of gyroscopic assistance. The plane is very, very small, brilliant for flying in small spaces, but makes it very twitchy. But I love it. I love the fact I can stick it in its box and keep it in the back of the car and pull out any time. When you want a blast of fun for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it does it all. So it's a solid plane. How about this A360? This is intended to be more of an acrobatic plane, but still with full gyroscopic assistance. So let's check it out and see how it compares. Okay, first impressions of the XK A430 is that it's a very, very attractive looking plane. It looks really smart. Good turn of speed there. Got the throttle.
fly slowly. That's quite good. Up we go. We're still on low rates, meaning there's no severe movement with the control surfaces. Gentle rudder, elevator, ailerons, all pretty light. No problem gunning it. Now we should get more of a response. Yeah, she's banking tighter. Yeah. Now I'll go for a climb, see how well she climbs. Up we go. She won't let me roll or turn or do anything like that at the minute. Go back into low rates temporarily. And I'll try this acrobatic mode. Plenty of height. Apologies if the plane is hard to see. Just playing safe at the minute. Now acro. Let's go straight up. So I just hit back to basic mode there as I got close to the ground. I felt I was losing control and she recovered beautifully. So low rates acro, you don't have as much control. We'll try flipping up into high rates acrobatic or 3D on the next turn. And come around for acro. There we go. No problem with it. A tight roll, gentle roll. Slow it down for a knife edge. Things happen fast. I suppose because the plane is so small, things seem to be happening faster than low rates. So that is a sort of semi-stall because she's got up elevator and low rates, but it does help you to fly slowly. This is loads of fun. This is loads of fun. And that safety feature, kicking back into safety mode, is very reassuring when things get a bit disorientating. It encourages you to try things, definitely. That gyro seems to be quite good. If in doubt, pull out. Bang! That's interesting. How did this work out? Now, that was a nasty enough knock. Seems to be pretty okay. Well, I am very impressed. Very. And this is all on one battery.
Okay, well, it was always going to be inevitable that this plane would fly faster because it has a bigger motor. It has a 2-cell battery instead of a single-cell battery. But it doesn't make the Mustang a slouch, it just makes this very fast. One significant advantage that I see in the A430 is it's got 4 different settings as compared to the 3 settings of the Mustang, as in beginner, middle and expert mode. This has a slightly different system where you have low and high rates, so the control surfaces will move a small bit in the low rates, or they'll move a lot in the high rates by pressing one of the buttons. But even in high rates, which makes the plane very, very responsive, it has full stabilization, and it won't let the plane sort of fly out of control, as in it won't invert. It still limits the amount of flying capability that it has. But when you press a different button, acrobatic, in either high or low rates, you then can do absolutely everything you want. So it makes it much easier for this plane to be flown inverted and held inverted, but it still has stabilization. You can hear those servos moving. Even in high rates or low rates, once you're in acrobatic mode, you still have your stabilization. It's just that little bit extra that will help you perform maneuvers that are done with much more difficulty in the Mustang. That said, this plane is faster, it's small as well, and it will fly away on you very easily. And probably the one biggest thing, if you're relatively new to flying planes, is durability. And that's where the Mustang wins out. If this crashes, it's exceptionally fragile, very, very flimsy. The nose already has been repaired. Wings will break very easily, and yes, you can glue them back together, but in my experience I found it rarely gets you back to the type of performance that you would have had previously. So, if, coming back to our very first question, if you're looking for a nice small compact plane that's affordable, I would say if you're looking for your very first remote control plane, this 400mm wingspan Eachine is a fantastic, fun plane. It's ultra durable, it takes the knocks, and it flies brilliantly, and the gyro system makes life very easy. If on the other hand you've outgrown your 400 and you want something faster, then I think this is a good second choice. I would not recommend the 430 as a first choice. It's too fragile, it's too fast, and it's too small. And small isn't bad in its own right, it just means the plane flies away you too fast. So that's my opinion. I hope you found this video useful, and please leave your comments at the bottom of the section. I'd love to hear what you think. Thank you.